keeping it moving. Like, what are we doing if we ain't moving? Keeping it groovy. Hey, yeah.
Yo, what's Gucci, guys? I'm Mr. Scopy, one of two of the KQ creatives, aka channel creators.
And I'm Isaiah, technically a lord who is the second of two currently existing channel creators. We're going to give you a short rundown of what this channel will be in terms of content, goals, limitations, and rules.
So let's get this cracking. Starting with the content. We're passionate about telling stories in the pro wrestling gaming universe, with whatever the newest WWE 2K's limitations are. That members of our role-playing circle have assisted in creating. We will try to use most updated attires for those official roster talent, main roster, NXT, as long as they look good to us. Story-wise, don't be surprised to see things from the current WWE, maybe AEW showing up in our stories. But ultimately, we will have our own spin on things, if not the stories being entirely our own. How will this storytelling be unique, you might ask? Well, might I have the answer for you, sir? We will be doing voiceover work for the promos as well as our own commentary. We'll see if we can get a good voice impression of certain people down, but the real focus for this voiceover work will be the attitude and cadence of a character, get the personality down and stuff. So, yeah.
Exactly right. And we come with 3 goals with this channel. The first and second goals being of utmost importance: to tell the stories of our KQ characters and to put most of our focus on making videos about the main storyline we're having. The third goal is to make the occasional video or videos about ongoing side stories we have, which take place in the same universe as the main storyline. We'll make sure to find a way to let y'all know what's happening in a summary at the very least with our words in a video or our Discord, which will be linked in the description below.
Yes, sir. Now, for the limitations. So we obviously can't use create a story because it's not WWE 2K14. We don't have enough money to animate stuff at the moment. But what we do have is WWE 2K22. Although universe mode is very bare bones, we'll do what we can and learn what we can to make some compelling stories that will catch your interest. Hopefully, fingers crossed. As a heads up, we will most likely be playing our matches in private lobbies online, as long as online doesn't kick us off. So we will not be recording KQ storyline matches with those we do not know or trust. So please respect that.
I absolutely agree with everything Scopy just said. Lastly, the rules. We have 5 rules, okay? Rule number 1, we aren't doing any love stories. We aren't comfortable with it, and we really don't like it. I mean, if you want to bug us enough, maybe one day, but
Maybe.
we're not going with any intentions whatsoever. Rule number 2, we're going to limit the use of blood because we aren't quite sure how YouTube is going to take it. I guess we'll do our research later on, but again, no real need. I think the stories are going to be good enough. Rule number 3, we will use swear words, but in a similar way with how the current WWE shows use them. Not excessively, not too wild. Overall PG content in a sense. Rule number 4, we will not be creating petty stories that are essentially a huge FU to certain wrestlers, companies, or pro wrestling officials. We just want to do our thing, be respectful, and keep things classy and entertaining. And finally, rule number 5, the KQ storyline will not be using prop or gag characters like Logan Paul in any storylines, or MGK or anybody else 2K wants to add. Don't expect to see the MCU fighting the bloodline in our storylines. It might be cool in thought, but no, in the long run, it just doesn't make sense. We do not want to insult your intelligence.
Facts, man. The next category will be the champion status in our storyline. So we're not going to have Roman Reigns be the undisputed champion for flexibility purposes in our singles division, as well as having the Usos just be SmackDown tag champs for the same flexibility opportunities. So for context, the WrestleMania 38 match where it was WWE champion Brock Lesnar versus Universal champion Roman Reigns, it still happened, minus the fact that Brock Lesnar was WWE champion going into that match. Okay, so Bobby Lashley is still the WWE champ, He's been a champ for a year now in our storyline, and he went over clean against that match against Brock. So Roman didn't interfere. He didn't hit Brock with the WWE Championship. That delicious, tasty tea of Paul Heyman giving Roman the WWE Championship to hit Brock didn't happen. Why? We believe that the story between Brock versus Roman is good enough to not require a title versus title scenario.
Exactly. So, for example, the Raw Tag Team Champions will instead be the Street Profits. They beat RK Bro a few months ago in our timeline instead of the Usos. The SmackDown Tag Champs, as he just mentioned, are the Usos for obvious reasons. They're still undefeated and are still the longest reigning Tag Team Champions in history. They're the ones.
Yes. The United States champion in our universe is Austin Theory.
Exactly right. And the Intercontinental Champion can only be one man.
Gunta!
Simple.
Yes.
And then our SmackDown Women's Champion, unfortunately for Scopey, is none other than Charlotte Flair. Very simple.
Yeah. She's very talented, despite how much I might dislike her. And lastly, our Raw Women's Champion, it's Bianca Belair. I mean, come on, bro. She's really good.
Right now.
Everybody likes her, man. You might be wondering, what about the women's tag team champions, KQ? Well, to be determined.
Yeah, we're not doing that, but if it makes sense, drop the idea below. You're one of the first OGs. You should leave your suggestion. I'm pretty sure we'll oblige, right? Like I said, makes sense. Don't come in and be like, yeah, let's get Rihanna and Beyonce, bro. We're not doing it. Okay.
Yeah, that reverts back to rule number 5. Because honestly, the women's division is going to be a little bit rough for us because we're not women. We may be comfortable just to kind of do a higher pitched voice, something like this, or I don't know, for the women in case we do side stories. But no, we'll probably just end up just doing the commentary for the women's side story matches. We'll probably leave it at that. So
yeah, so shit.
Any suggestions or recommendations that you guys want to see, drop it down in the comments below. Feel free to join our Discord. It's kind of inactive at the moment, but once we get more people in there, I'm sure it'll have a resurgence of activity. So
yeah, we look forward to bringing you guys stories, and we hope that it's enjoyed. And that's it. Yeah, I got nothing else to say.
Thanks for supporting the channel. Hey guys, Editor Scopey here. I felt like I should explain a little more of what's happening between Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, and Bobby Lashley, because in the official WWE product, they are feuding, as we all know. So in our storyline, they've been feuding back and forth for the past few months, much like they have been IRL, except the WWE Championship is involved, and there have been threats from all three men to take both titles and just be a double champion. So it's been pretty heavy feud, pretty gruesome feud, but yeah. So any further questions, just ask us down in the comments below. Now, let that outro play.